Hi, how are you? We are back, broadcasting on the beach with Halftime Howie, and Hurricane Sandy was brought up, and our next segment is going back to the days. I just want to show this to people. I spent quite a bit of time with the residents of Island Park, Long Beach, Oceanside, right after Hurricane Sandy, talking about people getting back in their homes. And Newsday followed us for about almost a year, and they wrote up a big two-page story on Newsday. And it was about talking about some of the families and their journey getting back into their homes. And one of the families that was featured in this article were the Corbett's, and they had a tough time, but they got back into the beautiful home. And let's have a round of applause for Kathy Corbett. And one of the things Kathy has in her life, which not too many people experience in their lives, Kathy has triplets.
Oh my God.
So it's quite an experience. And you know, when Kathy informed me that she was moving back into the house a couple of years ago, I said to her, Kathy, we would love to do a show from your brand new house. And we did that right after they moved in. It was a great experience. And Kathy, talk about that whole experience, about what Hurricane Sandy wreaked havoc on your family and what it was like getting back into that home and living in places you didn't really want to live. What was the whole experience like about the havoc Hurricane Sandy wreaked on your family?
Well, I was looking at the photographs and it brought back memories. Everything just kind of comes flooding back, excuse the pun. You think about all the things you lost, and we lost a lot. Our house had to be knocked down. My kids were 2.5 when we bought the house, and my baby was 6 months old. Now the triplets are going to be 20, and their sister's 18. Their 16th birthday, the triplets, we were renting a house in Long Beach. So we went from owning a house to losing a house to being renters, which was really bad. I mean, it was bad because we weren't prepared for it. FEMA was really disorganized, and we had to be somewhere. We were on couches, we were in hotels. My kids were traumatized to the point where they just weren't sleeping or weren't eating. And it was just, we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know if our house could be saved or not. We had contractors in, they were telling me stories, oh, we can do this, we can do that, and then no one called me back. Eventually, I got a guy in the deli, and I said, had done an estimate, and I said, will you please tell me why you're not telling me what's happening? And he said, because your house is a total loss. Nobody tells you that. You know, our insurance company told us that $135,000 should be able to rebuild an entire house, which anyone that's ever done any kind of work in their home knows you're lucky to do a kitchen for $30,000. Never mind an entire house knocked down and rebuilt to FEMA specifications. We lost every penny we had. I had a small IRA which we had to liquidate in order to get enough money to get into the house that we rented, which lasted 6 months. The woman then proceeded to keep $3,000 of our deposit because of some lie she made up. I found out later she's the worst landlord in Long Beach. There actually is a site you can go on to find bad landlords. I should have gone on before I signed the lease, right? Found out later. But to make a long story short, we rented in Long Beach when we were back in Island Park. We were paying rent on a place that didn't exist, a giant mountain of rocks. Our mortgage company would not allow us not to pay a mortgage payment. We tried to do a loan modification, so when there was no house, there was still a mortgage payment. There was still a rent to be paid. There was still utilities. There was still kids that needed clothes. A lot of organizations helped us, and I'll never forget them. You know, it really helped us a lot. But it put us through so much. And I was such a positive person who always saw the glass as half full. And I just saw broken glass everywhere I looked after a while. That's all I saw. And I didn't believe that we were ever going to get home. We didn't get home until December 12th of 2015. Okay? That's how long. So now we have a mortgage which is double what our mortgage was because our insurance company lowballed us. We brought them to court. We had to give a lawyer a third. Everything that could happen happened. We did get some money from different sources, but the bottom line is we really had to bring ourselves through it, along with support from other people. I went to rallies, I came, talked to Howie many times, and we were in Newsday literally 4 times, once on the front page, just standing there looking at the rubble of our house. It has been a journey. I'm stronger for it. I have a beautiful house, much prettier than the one I had, although I do miss it and I think about it a lot. And sometimes I just close my eyes and still see it. It's kind of a strange experience when you think about the stuff. Oh yeah, I have this, it's on this shelf and that, wait a minute. That shelf doesn't exist anymore because that house doesn't exist anymore, and you still think that way. But my kids are doing great. They're 2 are in college, 2 are working. My husband is good, although I have to say that it's put some years on both of us. You know, the 5 years have put more like 8 or 9 years, and you forget to take care of yourself. So now we're at the point now I've gone to Weight Watchers, I'm taking care of myself, and our home is where we want it to be. And we feel lucky.
Kathy, thank you so much for sharing. You're an inspiration. You and your husband have been through so much, but the bottom line is you're great people, you're great parents, you survived the toughest, and now you're in a beautiful home you deserve. And someday we'd like to do a show in your house again, because I'll tell you something, this woman is a great person, but she's a phenomenal cook. The food that day was a phenomenal cook. So Kathy,
Still talking about that.
yeah. So Kathy, thank you so much, and so happy that you're back in your house.
Thank you, Howie.
All right.